Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm here at the 2023 Detroit Auto Show, and of course, starting the morning early off, we had to be at Cadillac. Now, we've already talked about and brought you some of the magic that they're bringing when it comes to electrification. The Cadillac Lyriq, we were there for the unveil of the Escalade IQ. Well, guess what? They're bringing the technology, the style, and design to a vehicle that you have known, and we have some changes for the 2025 model year. What is it? It's the 2025 Cadillac CT5. But before we get into this refresh luxury premium level sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Cadillac, it goes all the way back to the early 1900s. Names like Coupe de Ville and Brome, it's like things have changed over the years, and it hasn't just been about nameplates, it's been about what they've done to the industry. If you go back to the first of the luxury SUVs, you think about Escalade. And now Escalade is one of those vehicles that people aspire towards, and kids put posters of that vehicle on their walls. Well, guess what? The sedan behind me, it's been a couple years since they introduced, remember they moved away from CTS, ATS, we have the CT5, and of course the CT4. Now they're bringing a refresh for the 2025 model year. What they're focusing on is, of course, bringing that style, that attention to detail. We have new technology and upgrading of safety features, and they've done it in a package that I think you're going to be very surprised that when you go to the dealership, it's going to make it so easy to get that Cadillac expectations that you want to have and drive every day. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2025 CT5 and find out, is it that new best luxury sedan you should be buying? Let's go ahead and dive in. Right off the bat, you're gonna see some things that are gonna hit you smack dab in the center of the eyes, and where that focuses on is with the lighting. Going back many, many years, Cadillac has made such a unique kind of identifier for their brand based on lighting. And you'll notice for model year 2025, LED, that nice, beautiful waterfall trickled down. You'll notice on the side, the details. Look at all the etching that they've done with the Cadillac name, the design trickling down the bottom, and then of course we have that double stacked LED headlights. And this is one of those things that I know we brought you on the electrified vehicles, how they take LED lighting and they're making really a personality for the vehicle. This is something, we still have the good old internal combustion engine. We'll talk more about that in a second, but you're still getting that personalization from Cadillac that only they could do. Now, as we come across that front end, when we think luxury, we think soft maybe, we think maybe classy. What they have done is actually brought a little bit of aggression into that blend to really make them stand out from the rest of the other luxury companies out there. So what you're gonna notice is that beautiful shape of the grille. It's actually been extended. So you're not only looking at a restyle where it just is a different shape necessarily, but it's actually enlarged to give you that more aggressive front end. Of course, we have full functionality with the gloss black up top. You're gonna have a forward-facing camera. That's one of those pieces of technology people like to see. Of course, when you're parking, you're not gonna wanna damage any of this beautiful design, especially with this particular paint job. And I love the aluminum style finish that they did around the perimeter of that chevron style grille. Very nicely done. All the attention to detail. Working our way down, they brought the aggression without going too over the top. So you can see how they extended out the front fascia, angle it down towards the corners, and then this lower portion, fully functional. Even the way that they kind of designed this little extended splitter, it's kind of like they brought some of the special touches from the Blackwings and brought it on to the CT5. What's great is that new for 2025, they've actually added active aero shutters. Now, if you're wondering, well, what is that? You're gonna notice that behind the grille, there are gonna be doors that open and close to increase that efficiency, because even though internal combustion engines are still around, we wanna try to make them as efficient as possible. Now, as we rise up, it's that clear, precise detail and style. So you're gonna have a nice rise in the center. Love the way that they take the kind of tip right in the center and bring it up onto the hood, and then it fades away as you go towards the windshield. I'm gonna have Lori see if she could kind of do a little distance shot. Even the touches, like I said, the attention to detail. Look at the Cadillac logo on the back side of that new infotainment system. And I promise you, we're gonna be getting inside to show you the other end of that infotainment system. Now, underneath the hood, you're gonna still have your familiar options. And I think that was a smart move for Cadillac because they really focused on packaging, not having separate packages, but when you come into the CT5, you're gonna get a lot of things that maybe once upon a time you had an option up for. Now they're all gonna be included when you get your entry-level CT5. But we'll talk more about that on the interior. Underneath the hood, you're still gonna have that 2-liter turbocharged engine. We still have the twin-turbo V6. So you're gonna be able to have your options on how you wanna power your particular CT5. Plus, they're still gonna have optional all-wheel drive, which I think is very smart, especially if you live up here in Detroit. Now, as we come around the bend, it's not just about the body, it's also about the styles of the wheels, and they did a great job, like I said, with adding that class, but also adding the sport style to it. So you're gonna notice this nice machined aluminum, you got the metallic silver all the way around on this 19-inch wheel. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? 19 inches. Tire is gonna be 245 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And I'm telling you, with this darker red, the silver really pops because it seems that everybody wants to do black wheels. It's nice to have silver. This is one of those things that Cadillac tries to do for their owners, is give you some touches that are different to make them stand out. Now, as we come down the side, you'll notice, of course, we're gonna have that Cadillac crest going back to the early 1900s. When it comes to this CT5, with it being a refresh, there's some good news there. It's not only about what's new, but even from the side, the CT5 already looked good. So that's why they decided to focus on a refresh rather than a whole redesign. So what you're gonna get, color matched on the mirror caps, turn signals built in, you're gonna have your 360-degree cameras. Like I said, we'll talk more about the technology on the inside. Up top, you got that panoramic style sunroof. And then of course, you're gonna have the bright, shiny metal bits, top and bottom around the window frames, on the door handles. And I always love that nice extension on the lower door panels. Very, very nice, kind of blends into what they're trying to do at making it sportier, making it a little bit more aggressive. Working our way towards the rear, the way they bring the trim, a lot of brands would just stop here. But what Cadillac does is they focus on really making a cohesive design, and it's almost like a piece of bubble gum. They pull it back right into that rear quarter panel, and then coming around back, we're gonna see some new changes for 2025. What do we have? That beautiful lighting, just like up front. We have our LED lighting on the rear. You're gonna have your traditional badging. The silver trim, this one has the optional all-wheel drive, and then working our way all the way down to the ground level, functional exhausts. So a lot of other luxury brands, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, doing fake exhausts. You're not gonna find that on the Cadillac, and I love the way that they do the nice polished trim rings around there and your LED lighting in the center. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and see what's new for 2025. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 CT5, and if you thought the exterior was where it was all at, that's only half of the big puzzle here. This interior is now going to blow your mind, and what's crazy is that sitting in the vehicle, even the few first minutes I've been in here, it almost feels like a redesigned CT5, even though this is a refresh. Now, another thing I want to point out when it comes to wheels, yes, standard wheels are 19-inch, but you can get your 20-inch wheels as well. They have different wheel options, and that's another way for personalization of what you want from your CT5. Now, of course, price is going to be important. No official pricing yet, but expect Cadillac to keep it very competitive because they know that they have something on their hands to go against the competition. But let's see what they've done to the interior, to the door panels. I love how they continue the style, but they elevated the material. So you're gonna have that soft touch black, that carbon fiber design, a little bit of silver trim, and what you're gonna notice is that AKG sound system, that aluminum speaker grille cover, nice dark aluminum finish, and then we have the two-tone with the tan. That really brings the door panel alive. Stitching, it's the attention to detail and the quality of the materials. Down below, you got a good sized door pocket, easily put a couple of Detroit's finest 12-inch hot dogs in there and a nice Pepsi to wash it down. Going from the door panel to the dash, the materials continue, the carbon fiber. You see the stitching. I love the way the stitching is a nice contrast to the interior appointments. And then you slide on in, what do we have? A 33-inch infotainment system setup. So what's great about it is that with the 33-inch setup, you have full touchscreen, Amazon Alexa, you got your Google Assistant, the whole 9 yards. And what's great is that it really makes you feel like this is what you find in the Lyric, what you find in some of the other vehicles that have been redesigned. Resolution is totally perfect. And if you're wondering, well, how can I do ambient colors? You could do over 100 different color combinations with the ambient lighting, full touchscreen capability. And I love the way it's got a nice curve to the driver's side. Now, working our way down, you have, of course, your same integrated AC vents. You're gonna notice all the fine touches on your AC controls, but here's the big change. Like I said, you no longer have to go through packages to get certain options. It is there for you right at the purchase level. So what you're gonna have, 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats. You look at all the parking assistant and all the safety features that come standard now rather than being optioned in, and they wound up tweaking some of those safety features to perform even better than before. We have wireless charging. Of course, you have the touches on your shifter for your automatic transmission, mode selector switch, the carbon fiber, 2 cup holders, and then you still have, I'm glad that they kept the direct drive control knob so that you don't have to touch the screen if you don't want to. Love the way, nice, easy access, the felt lining, USB-A and USB-C charging, and then the new R-Line leather, supple, soft, with the chevron, the stitching, the bolstering. You're gonna notice full power assist for the passenger, full power assist for the driver, and that split setup for that panoramic sunroof. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you the rest of the 33 inches in this CT5. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. What's great is that as soon as you open up the door, you have that Cadillac logo that lights up LED with the aluminum trim. You got your 2 memory seat settings, and then check out the pedal box. Like it's right out of an IMSA GTP race car for Cadillac, aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Like I was saying, when it comes to seat controls, you don't have to package these with the massage seats and everything to get that. So you're gonna have your massage seat setting, you're gonna have your full power assist. I'm 6 feet tall, and I really feel like the CT5, it's sort of like the Goldilocks of luxury sedans. It's not too big, and it's not too small. Steering wheel, wonderful leather. Of course, you're gonna have your Super Cruise that for 2025 has been up-leveled and is gonna be even better than before. And then remember, we are at the auto show, and sometimes with these pre-productions, there's certain touches that when you get it at the dealership may be even better. So that's why the screens are off, and that's why we can't just start the car up, because we're at the auto show. But having everything laid out up front is great for the driver and the front seat passenger, but let's get into the rear seat and see if there's still that same great magic in the CT5. All right, guys, backseat time in this 2025 CT5, and you know, one of the things you got to remember is some brands don't necessarily treat the backseat passengers the same as the front seat passengers. And what I mean by that is materials. The great news is this upscale high-end leather is just the same as it is up for the front seat passengers for the rear seat. And what's great about it is that it feels so soft but yet supportive. It's like that favorite baseball mitt that you have. And I think that the color is making me feel that way in a very good way. It's like a Detroit Tigers baseball mitt of a color and material, but it feels so wonderful just to sit in it. Now the backs, you do have the leather pockets, of course. Love the way they did the soft touch material. Rear AC vents, USB-C, and a 12 volt. And remember, we do have to have the transmission tunnel here, the drive shaft tunnel, because our one especially is equipped with all-wheel drive. But sitting here, I like the way the seat has a little bit of an angle to it. Nice armrest, 2 cup holders. If you're wondering about the trunk is gonna be exact spec dimensions, and we'll bring more of that to you when we get one of these in the press fleet or for the media drive, but we gotta get out of here. They're kicking us out. We gotta get on to the next one at the Detroit Auto Show, so let's wrap it up. All right, guys, it's an early morning here at the Detroit Auto Show, but it's a worthwhile morning. We definitely wanna thank the whole Cadillac team for inviting us out to get access to this refreshed 2025 CT5. Let me know what you think. Has Cadillac created the special sauce recipe when it comes to taking that sedan, but yet giving you those fine touches of technology, safety, and of course, having still that all-wheel drive option that some brands seem to not be covering. But let me know down in the comment section how you feel. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Lori working that camera like a champ. Show us some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.